Hi, you everybody, and welcome back. Well, I should say welcome back. It's been quite a time since we've been on air. But good to see you. Well, good to hear you. Can't see you, but you can see me. If you could, anybody in the comments, please let me know you can hear and see me. I think it's been about 6 or 7 weeks since we've done a show. I think we've done 3 events. I've been on holiday, and now I'm back again. And it seems like I was on holiday a month ago. So if you could just let me know that you can hear me and see me, will be really good. Hopefully I'm live. Says I am. Phone says I am. But can't see that you can hear me. So just if somebody could just let me know. That really would appreciate it. Don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. I think we've probably got a lot to talk about tonight. Uh, Obviously there's 3 events here to talk about. But just lots going on at the moment. So if everybody can hear me, if you could just put a little comment in that you can see and hear me, please.
Here I come to save the day.
I can't see any comments as yet. No. But I have been speaking. So.
Oh, well, we know how Facebook works.
Myself,
so you've got 5 watchers. Why can't I hear my own voice? So
yeah, can hear you. Yeah, good. Thanks, Stuart.
Right. Are you ready?
Always ready, mate.
Let's go.
Ever ready.
I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Whoa. Just hold up 1 minute there. It's not who you're going to call, but it's who you're going to listen to. And if you ain't afraid of no ghost, stay tuned for the EGH Paranormal Talk Show.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to the EGH Paranormal Talk Show live and exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio. And we are back. We are back with a bang. It is 8 o'clock. It's your paranormal couple of hours. So lock up, load in, stay tuned, because it's going to be a bit of a fun ride tonight because we haven't got a clue what we're going to talk about. But as you can see, my lovely co-host and here is Simon. Welcome back, Simon.
Cheers, mate. It's been a long time. Seems ages ago. It
does seem ages. It's Friday the 22nd. It's been a long old week. And it's what about this weather? I don't get this weather. We're supposed to be having another mini heat wave next week.
Oh, thank God.
We're supposed to be going up to 24, 25s again next week.
Is it? That's good.
Yeah, from Monday.
Oh,
crazy.
I've been cold in the weekend now.
Crazy
no,
times.
It was lovely. It was lovely this afternoon.
So welcome one and all to everybody that is listening on Pulse Talk Radio. Welcome along. Thank you for everybody who's watching on YouTube. Thank you to everybody that is watching us on Facebook. We've got Stuart in the chat. We've got Sarah in the chat. We've got Jane in the chat. We've got the lovely Heidi Hansen in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you want your name read out and put across the airways, put it in there, say hello, and we'll call you out. As you can see, you can also contact us on info@EssexGhostHunters.co.uk if you want to send us a message on there. You can send us a text message, or you can even ring into the show on 07 487 331688. 07 487 331688. So you can send all your messages in on there. So welcome back. We are back. Thank you for everyone who's been listening anyway. It is the 22nd, and it could be the last ever show, couldn't it?
Right.
Well, it's the 23rd tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, something's happening.
Is it?
Something's supposed to be happening tomorrow.
Oh, well. Yeah, but they said this about how many times have we had dates in the past?
This is not the end of the world, though. they're not claiming to be the end of the world tomorrow.
Oh,
You know,
But-
we're not gonna go too much into it, because I think it is for my Thursday night show where this would lead. But we are talking about there has been a lot of the date mentioned today, tomorrow, the 23rd of the 9th, or the 9th 23 if you're American. And it has been mentioned in many films. I think we are in the realms of around about 75 films that this date has been mentioned, the 23rd. It is in the book of Revelations. That is a biblical sense. We've got a comet, I believe, or an asteroid that is going to be seen on the 23rd. So you,
Singles Day.
pardon?
National Singles Day.
National Singles Day as well on the 23rd. Well, God help you if it is our last day. But no, apparently, you know, there's a lot of rumblings that it is the second coming, or you know what they, you know, in the Revelations, the book of Revelations, the second coming of, if you believe, if you a biblical sense, that Jesus Christ, or you know, God, or whatever you say, it could be potentially that this is happening. The one thing I managed to speak to someone that was very biblical today, and I questioned them on it, and I said, look, like, and their belief that they're Christian, and their belief is that there will be a second coming eventually, but it will be in the last time we were flooded. You know, was it Noah that was flooded?
Yeah.
So this time there's going to be a lot of fire, or it's going to be based around the clouds parting, and it will be from above. It will be sense that this second coming will be from above. But you think of how many forest fires and that we've had over the last couple of months. The weather at the moment is random all over. We're getting floods. We're getting, you name it. It seems to be very random weather throughout the globe, so to speak. So whatever is the 23rd is happening. There was a video going around that it's a very spiritual thing. They believe that a lot of spiritual people, at some point on the 23rd of their time, they will hear a massive clap of thunder, and their time will stop for 15 minutes, and they will get all the information that they are needing or wanting to carry on for, I suppose it's what my co-host Paranormal Paul would say in my other show, is the awakening of people. I think you sense that the awakening. I do think that Nostradamus has also mentioned this date as well in his. I think Baba Vanga also mentioned this date as well.
They mention a lot of dates, though. They do mention a lot of dates.
I say, what do I believe it is? I don't know.
Somebody's put planet Nibiru is going to appear on the 20th.
You've got Facebook, not Facebook, NASA are live streaming the comet, or this, they do believe that this could be an extraterrestrial visit, or they're showing themselves. There's there's a lot of things that are going to happen. They do believe that all communications will crash at some point tomorrow as well.
Live,
so
live about TikTok. Oh my God! What are we doing? I'm not. You have to go and speak to people. No, don't do that.
And I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be. I'm not sure if it's going to be. the one thing I heard, it was going to be the internet will crash tomorrow. The whole thing, internet will crash tomorrow. But the reason being, I have no idea. But if we do see a second coming tomorrow, if we do see a parting of the, I know it sounds really strange, but it was very odd. This evening when I stepped outside my back door over Essex, I am Southend based, or that sort of way, and there's lights flashing around in the sky above you. Simon, you would probably see it as well.
Okay.
Which looks like the UFO things are flying around the sky. It looked very freaky because it's piercing the clouds. So whatever is happening tomorrow, if anything is happening tomorrow, I'm not saying it is the end of the world. A lot of people have said not the end of the world tomorrow. It's just something. Yeah. There's been no sense of the end of the world tomorrow. It was very, very heavily put. It was heavily put that the book of Revelations is very biblical, and it is in the Bible, and it's very linked with this date. Okay, so if we're going to be looking at anything, it's going to be a biblical sense, and it could be something to do with. I won't go into it, but Project Bluebeam, everything that we've been told about, if you look into Project Bluebeam, this is ticking all the boxes for Project Bluebeam to be enabled tomorrow. So if we do see, if there is any anything to do with the skies tomorrow, we are ticking the boxes very much so for Project Bluebeam to start kicking in. So whatever happens, we hope we're here next week. But you know what? We don't know. We generally do not know. We will be. I'm pretty sure that we will. Yeah. It just might be a different way. Who knows? Who knows? Anyone in the chat? Has anybody in the chat, just before we do move on to our spooky side of things, have you heard anything about this 23rd? What is anything, your beliefs of it? I know we've heard it. I know that the dates of Stuart, I'm off to a garden party tomorrow. They have a fire pit. I shall be avoiding that then. But who knows? Who knows that what could be going on tomorrow? It could be something that we don't even see. It could be but it could be, I don't know, for anything that it could be a new, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if it could be a spiritual thing. But one thing that we do look at, one thing that we have to pay attention to, and I know it sounds really stupid, but a lot of things have come from a very famous cartoon, The Simpsons. The Simpsons have predicted a hell of a lot of things that have come to light, probably more than anything over the last probably they've been more accurate than probably Nostradamus and Baba Vanga put together. And The Simpsons have predicted something will happen on the 23rd of this month. But what? Who knows? Who knows? We shall carry on as normal. But even though we have, for me, there could be something in it if definitely The Simpsons are mentioning it in their programs. So what was the other thing is that there's going to be one big Mandela effect tomorrow as well. That will be another thing. There's going to be a massive Mandela effect. So Tottenham Fire Station open day tomorrow. Best cancel that. No, don't cancel that because if that burns down, I don't mind. Or is it? It is Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah, let it burn. Don't care about them. But no. Yeah, it'd help us out on Sunday if the game goes ahead. But no, if anyone has got any theories or anything like that, guys, please let us know. It would be nice to see what you think could be happening. We've got a load of people in the chat. We've got Kev that has joined us. We've got Rachel Blackstock that has joined us. Everybody is welcome along. Please have your say. Please don't be quiet, because if you're quiet, the show, we want your questions. We want your questions. We want your side of things. So if you do have, let's try and keep it a little bit upbeat. If you've got anything spiritual that
get it off your chest before the 23rd.
What's that? Sorry, I lost you.
Get it off your chest before the 23rd, because you might have to live.
Well, I think the Mandela effect is quite weird.
Mm-hmm.
A massive Mandela effect is quite weird. I don't know how that would. So I don't know how that would necessarily work. What that would be, really don't. Kev's still in Cyprus, enjoying it.
Yeah, go on,
so yeah, if you've got any thoughts, anybody, or what would be happening, please. I can see everybody probably at home now, Googling and, sensing what's, just going, what's going on, because they might not have heard about it, because it's not been a Nostradamus thing where it's been publicized on telly or anything like that. This has been very low key. But yeah, just have a little Google, especially if you've got the world of TikTok, guys. It gives you, there's just a gentleman there that talks about the explanation of the Revelation side of it, the book, how it fits to the book of Revelations, and I think the astrology side of things as well. I think there's something happening with Mars and the sun, I believe, that never really happened before, and it won't happen again, I believe. So we've got Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Nice to have you along. Is your background of Shrewsbury Prison?
either Shrewsbury or it's going to be Shrewsbury or Shepton.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would be, to be fair.
Can you do it again?
I do think that's Shrewsbury.
Yeah. Yes, Rachel, I think it is.
Yeah. Jackie is listening in. Hiya, Jackie. Thank you for joining in the show. Obviously, I see you, Simon. You've just been Googling the 23rd, sort of. I see it. I know it's very loose, isn't it? It's very loose as a Google, but. Yeah. What you're seeing? What are you seeing on that side of things?
Probably just about a planet. I don't.
Yeah, this is the whole.
On TikTok, I think you've got to strip out a lot of muck before you get to anything decent. To be quite honest.
Yeah. If I say there was a video that I posted onto the group, and that's where the Book of Revelations highlights this yes, and this is another thing that's going alongside of it. Is an equinox as well tomorrow, a very important equinox as well. Yeah, the Revelations one is all to do with the astrology side of things, and that goes along this planet side of what this comet, this planet that gets very close to Earth.
Whatever it was called, I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah. As Ryan said, that's definitely Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
How does he know?
Probably serve timing.
Kev has put the causes that affects is definitely more pronounced at the moment. I performed a ritual today by the beach, deep meditation. As soon as I opened my eyes, I looked up and there was 3 black birds were circling above. The number 3 has always been significantly to me personally. As I say, there's been I noticed a lot of birds flocking today as well, which was a bit surreal. So that was a bit, a lot of birds flying today, very noisy as well. So, Rachel, I need to go with you guys to Shrewsbury. If you ever go again, I'd be very interested. I would be very interested in person to take with you. We're not planning at the moment to head back to Shrewsbury at the moment, but please obviously keep your eyes out. It's not in our calendar for next year, unfortunately. It wasn't, not without sounding negative on the place, and we're not sounding, it wasn't necessarily what we expected it to be. We have been to Shepton Mallet a couple of times, and we find that location a lot more, not spiritual, but more entertaining. So we'll be heading probably back to there, not next year, but we might be. I don't know yet. Keep your ears open. Flugel is in the chat. Good evening, Flugel.
Evening, Flugel.
How are we doing? So welcome. So let's that's a shame. My 3 great granddads were the last. Oh wow. Lovely.
Oh, you would be an interesting person to take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll bear it in mind, Rachel. Definitely.
So we're gonna we're gonna probably have a little chat about sort of what has gone on. We haven't been very active over the last sort of few months. We've been on holidays. We've been, there's been so much technical issues going on and on. So we've sort of, I don't know how far we really go back, to be fair.
We've done the events we've done since we've been off air. North Weald, Slough Fort, Hitchin. Throw a couple of holidays in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
well, I think if we start with the earliest one, North Weald.
Well, you're going to try and ask me to remember that, and I don't know if I can.
That was a banger. The bell's going off, the signal bell going off. That was a banging event, mate.
I can't remember it, but you start it, and I'll see if I can bring back my memories. So that's normally how it works for me.
First group I had, we only got as far as the bridge, I think, and people started to feel it. And then we got a pilot that was down on that, near that bridge, not on the bridge, but further up the tracks. We walked up to the tracks, and we actually see a shadow figure crossing the railway. And I think Matt, another team member, also caught that. And then I can't remember if it was the first or second group, but we ended up in the signal box, and there's a bell there. And the bell just went off, and the people that were helping that night said that can't happen. And I think they even rang up to Epping to see if the bells could be rung. But apparently not.
Right. So I have spoken to Adam,
yeah.
And the bells will naturally ring once when the power is shut down. That's natural. But any times after that would not be natural.
Right. So when me and Jay asked it to do it when we were standing, again, it won't be natural because it did it again.
No. The second time,
and
no.
In the box.
First time, yeah, because they North Weald, because the bells can be set off from both signal boxes.
Yeah.
So you have North Weald and you have Epping.
Yeah.
So both signal boxes can set off the bells if they hit the right buttons.
Right. Okay.
But it would need to be done in that signal box. So Adam, the event organizer who lets us in made sure that we was he checked all that out, and there was no one in the boxes after locked up that would have done it. There was obviously there was nobody in the signal box at North Weald. So is you know, and he got a lot of people involved. The good thing with North Weald is that they look after their venue, they look after their and they're very interesting to see what that they will do everything they can to try and keep what the sort of like the haunted activity that we have, and they will try and make it if they could give us a reason why they would do that.
Yeah.
And
I think the guy we had with us is actually booked onto an event with us.
Yes, I believe so.
Because he was so, think he was amazed by what we were getting.
Yeah.
So, and it was unbelievable. And I think he actually saw the figure that I saw at the end. And at the end of that, I saw a figure that I really didn't like at the end of it in the third carriage. And I think I did get affected after that for about a week or 2 weeks after. You know that?
Yeah, I'd say I didn't. I can't remember. I remember the bells. I remember them going off. I remember we went down the pathway. I think I had Phil's group, if I remember rightly, Phil. And Phil picked up an energy of not a dark energy, but a negative energy that used to take children somewhere into that. Like there's like isn't there? There's a pathway that goes.
Yes, there is.
From the two, I don't know where it goes over to. Not probably somewhere near the
Bassett, whatever.
Yeah, the Bassett. And he took on that energy, and he didn't like what we was doing. We managed to, and we had to try and let the child come up from the forest because it wouldn't want to come up from the forest to walk past the energy, but we managed to make it happen. We had quite a few people crying as well. It was quite hard, you know. I remember that. Yeah, we had a murderer. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yes. Yeah. Cheers. And that's what I can remember. In the first group, I can't remember what went on in the first group. Yeah. No, I can't think what went on in it. How long? You know, there's a lot.
And you've got the cheek to call me the goldfish.
It's a long time ago. A lot of things have happened between then and now. It's just because you know it's
yeah.
I think I'm getting missed.
An amazing place. I think we got a lot of activity packed into all our sessions, and I think we had a good board session at the end. And when what we could see at the end, I know Lisa took one of our board sessions, and I took another. And what we saw at the end of that train wasn't very nice, to be quite honest. But hey ho, it could be a dark energy or whatever it was, but it wasn't very nice.
But you said the event organizer run, didn't he?
Yeah, he would have been on a train. And then I was looking at a thing.
He didn't want to waste it. Yeah, I can't remember too much of it, to be fair. And that's not to say nothing necessarily didn't happen. It might just be yeah, I just can't. I only remember that middle group. Can I only remember what went on in that middle group?
Did you not get the train carriages moving without moving?
No.
So we had that as well.
No.
I think that was the second group. You actually thought the train was moving. It was really weird, and the dark shadows that were going across the track. and I'm sure Matt Kim got the photo, the video.
Yeah.
Remember the video? Walking along with Matt and his legs under the light with Kim. Kim
I
took the
can't-
video. You need to look at that then, because that was good.
Well, I wished no, I can't. I can't remember too much of Northfield. It's probably because it was so long ago. Nothing necessarily happened in the first session with me because we was in that first carriage next to there. We had a couple of K2 hits. I just remember it being so bloody hot. That's what I remember.
Hitchin was bloody hot, but
Yeah, but I remember being hot as well. But it was raining as well. I remember it raining.
Train ride was good. Must remember
Yeah,
that.
Phil loved the train ride. Phil loved the train ride. But yeah, no, I can only.
Signal box at Epping's also very haunted. I don't know if you went up there, but I think a few of us did.
No, I was at the front. I was loading coal into the train at that point for you lot to come back.
Yeah.
That's what I got stung with. So Slough, I can't help you with Slough. I wasn't there. I was sunbathing. So,
Well, to be quite honest, I've got to say, hats off to Southport, because you would have remembered it as it was when we first went there.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't think that we didn't have a mess room, did you? Didn't have a.
No.
It was just seats in the. Absolutely fantastic what that group do, and it puts other places to shame. I was going to have a moan about it. I think I'm going to have a moan about it.
Go for
I'm
it.
going to have a moan about it. Slough fault, and absolutely making it pristine there. So all the money they're getting from ghost hunts and things like that they do there, they're putting back into the fault. And I tell you what would really be nice to see happen in Coalhouse Fault. So if anybody's listening out there, Coalhouse Fault, I'm not going to forget it, and I ain't going to let it go, because I think we are really wasting a lot of time and a lot of effort there. Because if you go to Coalhouse Fault, if you go to Slough Fault, if you go to Landguard Fault, if you go to Harwich Fault, just go and have a look at them, Coalhouse Fault, if you're listening out there. And bloody councils and government, get off your arses. Let's not turn it into flats. Let's make it good again, because go and just have a look at what these faults are doing. They're putting history back there so people can see it. Not just ghost hunting, but actually to see a fault. To actually see a fault and not forget the people that worked in that fault and the history that goes with that fault. So Coalhouse Fault, get out there, look at it, please, if you're listening. It's such a shame. But yeah, back to the event.
But let's just we need to back that up a little bit, because there is a committee, there is a community group in waiting for.
What are they waiting for?
They can't get in there. The council are refusing them entry because it's unsafe. They will not let them in there.
Right. Okay. So how do they have a gun group going there then?
Because
how do they have a gun group if it's unsafe? How do they have a gun group going there? Ask the council that.
We shouldn't say that.
Shouted and got off their asses and did something. Sorry.
We shouldn't be saying that on air, because they're not supposed to be in there.
I don't care, because I think it's about time somebody did something. Yeah. Russ put a business plan to them. How many years ago? It took me
Exactly.
We put a business plan. Look, I don't care who runs them, but if you put the ghost hunting events in, I think it works out crazy money, about between 30 to 50,000 they'd make just from ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Back into that fault. So somebody do something. Don't give me excuses, because I'm fed up with all the bloody excuses.
They cannot get in there. They cannot get in there. They just cannot make a move. The council have refused it. I do think that the council is going down the pathway of what we think. I think it will be left to rack and ruin, to its past all. I think that's what they want. And then they can either floor it because it's past
Yeah,
past.
too right.
It is. There is. It's the council, and I'm not afraid to say it's Thurrock Council that is really, really putting the red tape. They're all gone, Ryan. There is no one from the old group. I do believe that it was about
Yeah, but
three.
Russ, right?
The 3 weekends was the last weekend that the council allowed the old committee to remove all their objects from site. And I believe there was only about 3 or 4 objects from site that they had to remove. And then I think it now will be locked. I think it will let to be rack and ruin. And I think
If anybody's listening from Thurrock Council on our radio show, that may be not a chance in hell. But if you are, get your arses in here and get on here and talk to us. Somebody get and talk to us.
I do know, to be fair, I do know the former Thurrock councillor that was in charge of the getting Thurrock Coalhouse Fault back. But as Ryan said, he found it too hard. There was too much red tape to get past. I know that there is something to do with the back wall line of Coalhouse Fault, because it was in the Second World War. They piled. It should be like Landguard Fault. No, it wasn't. I say it was his name was. Oh God. It's not Ralph, is it? It wasn't Ralph. I'll get his name. I do know him. He's a part of. He's a part of Thurrock Paranormal Group. He does a lot of investigations around the Thurrock area. And Shane. His name's Shane. And where was I going? Ryan's put me off. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. Where was I? What point was I?
You knew him. You knew he was doing something or whatever.
No, the back wall. So Thurrock, Coalhouse Fault in the Second World War, that they made it a hidden fault. So what they did is they piled all the mud up around the front of it. So if you was coming across up the Thames, you wouldn't be able to see the fault until you was behind it.
Right.
But there was a cost study done. Obviously, they've got for it to be to stop the damp from the running water inside of the fault. It's got to be all removed. And the cost analysis of that was 1.5 million pound to get all that removed. So what's there, as I say, as Ryan states there, Thurrock Council giving out too many dodgy loans investments. We know that
but then we built toilets and a cafe outside it.
Exactly.
Stupid.
But even if even if their fault was to remain, that would stay. Because it's going to be a calf, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. But
I
don't get it. I don't. That's steeped in history. Inside, it's something out of this world, especially in that medical bit that should really be restored. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and probably luxury flats looking over a lake will be probably much more than a fault would be. It's probably going to happen.
Kev said, I did a ghost tour there years ago. No ghost up, but saw a UFO.
Yeah, we saw a UFO there as well, Kev. Funny enough.
Yeah. And this is what it's all about. Ironic that Thurrock Council are blocking it as they cried bankruptcy 6 weeks ago before Birmingham Council this week. Flugel, the paranormal power arm program was an eye opener. Should try approaching them again. There is, I say, if anyone is interested, there is a Coal House Fault Facebook page, the community group. Okay, and I think his name is something Driver, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. But...
and he's the one that is trying to push. I know he goes to all the council meetings once a week, and he's always in their faces, but it's Thurrock Council that are blocking this. But
what they should have done a long time ago is gone and had a look at places like Slough, places like You've only got to walk 2 miles down the road and look at Tilbury Fault. For God's sake, look at.
Yeah, but Tilbury Fault has had a luxury though, isn't it? For the last Tilbury Fault got taken over by English Heritage, so it didn't need to fund itself.
No, but what I'm saying is,
but if national
money there, isn't there?
If English Heritage got hold of Coal House Fault and threw the money at it, that's what it would look like.
But the lottery did. National Lottery threw some money at Coal House at one point.
Yeah, but it got built out front. Yeah, that's where the lottery funding went to.
Yeah, money cancelled. But anyway, stop that one. That's probably for another day.
It could be, Kev. It could be health and safety blocking it.
Yeah, it could be, Kev.
But that's all red tape as well.
It's such a shame.
But you never know. You never know what is going to come of it. You really don't.
But anyway, let's get back to Slough Fault, because that's what we were talking about. And they've really worked miracles there, to be honest. There's a nice base room now inside the old bit where the zoo. Remember where the zoo was, where the first bit was? Yeah, built a nice like cafe bit there, big enough to take all the people. Always working on it. So split it. You've got no big walk round. You know, you used to have a big walk round there where the big mushrooms are growing. Do you remember them?
No, I don't know.
You would have done, but now it's a nice little short walk. But that particular night was absolutely amazing for activity.
Well, give us a step by step then. Give us a step by step.
Step by step. Well, we split into 2 groups. We didn't do 3 groups. And me and Henry sort of played the runners, because I don't know why, but we knew things were going to happen. Jay took the dole. Jay took the dole in the first part, but we were sitting there and Boo Bear was talking to it. The EMFs were going, and that was actually in the restroom. We come out of there and people were dropping like flies, Russ. It was one of the Devlin's group got taken over, so I had to go and work her back. Another guest that comes with us regular now was being stabbed in the ear. I haven't seen the one that's normally on here as well. Their group got something thrown at them, a stone, and you actually saw it. And it was a different heat source. But that wasn't in my group. And great ball session for Jane at the end with her partner. Absolute. It was non-stop, start to finish. You didn't know. The time just went. Brilliant event. And you know how small it is as well. So you've got to keep it compact. But everybody got something that night. Everybody. Don't think there was one person that couldn't say they didn't get anything.
As you know, it was. Yeah,
it was a strange night, Mez, but I think it was a dull. It was a very strange night, but a good night. Yeah, agree, Sandra. Agree. It will be up there in the top 5. Really.
I say I can't comment because I wasn't there, so I couldn't give you any details of what went on or anything like that, guys. I can't give you a rundown of anything. So
that's it, Phil. Yeah, and that's where I think the stone was thrown. I'm sure it was. Sure, that's in your group, because I wasn't in your group when the stone was thrown. Yeah. There was lots going off that night. Yes, after the dole. Yeah, you're right. It was.
But why was you having to go to people? What was their issues?
One was taken over by something. She just couldn't stop laughing. She didn't know who she was, didn't know where she was, didn't know what she was doing there. Another one, that took us quite a long time, to be quite honest. Did take us quite a long time to get her back, but we got her back. And then the guy was being stabbed in the ear. Whatever entity it was stabbing where the group that they're throwing the stone in. He was picking up and being stabbed. Where that nasty entity was, what Phil was saying, and something was stabbing him in the ear, and he was in so much pain. Literally, he couldn't lift his head, so I had to pull that out.
Jay thinks the child come home with the doll.
Well, God help Jay. God help Jay. If it has.
I'm going to come to your question in a minute, Kev, but I'm just going to finish that one first. Al ended up with scratches after being shut in the pantry and couldn't open the door from the inside. Yeah.
We were doing like lone vigils in the pantries there and places there, because it was a very good place to do lone vigils and pairing people up. It was really good. Great place. I think we'll probably definitely go back there next year. Definitely going to have to.
A question has come in from Kev. Do you think dolls somehow attract spirit or channel it? It is always malevolent.
Do you think dolls? I think something can attach to a doll. Like you can attach things to any object, I believe. I think spirits can attach to a doll. And I think if you've got a doll, we don't know the history of those dolls, that perhaps spirit is attached to those dolls.
Yes, I sort of agree, but I think it's quite an interesting word, channel it. I think I haven't looked at it like that before, Kev. I don't necessarily feel that anything can get stuck with the doll. I don't think anything can. That's my personal opinion. I don't think anything gets stuck with the doll. I think it attracts it. Yes, I do. But I think the word channel.
Can it choose? Not stuck, but can it choose to stay with the doll?
Yeah, it can stay with the doll, but I don't. That's choice.
Yes, yeah. I'm not saying.
That's why I think the word attract is quite good there. It attracts that. You know, sometimes we can look at dolls. I think I've got one next to me as we speak. This one, as we say, that just sits there now. She doesn't really do anything anymore, which is okay. So she just stays there. But she did when we first picked her up. She come from Wales.
Yes.
And she caused a bit of havoc. But maybe it's that energy that follows that rather than. But the word channel, I think that's quite a good way of putting it, to be fair. The doll can heighten the energy. I don't know. And you're quite right. It is 9 times out of 10 that they are malevolent. But I think also that we have... Jay has got quite a few dolls. And he looks after them.
Yes, he does.
And there is one doll in particular that is definitely a protection doll for whoever is anywhere near it or around it. It keeps the dolls quite under control. I think it also looks after its owner. And I think it looks after people who are very much around them dolls as well. I really do. What's it? Jay has a lovely doll. She should come on the next event. I don't know what that. Yeah. Going back to Slough Fault. Just hold on. Let me do this one first. Kev, I wonder if it's to do with children associated. Some say poltergeists are usually linked to children too.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. It's children associated. I don't know. I don't know. I think poltergeists, are usually linked to children. I agree with that bit, but I don't know. I think spirit can manipulate sometimes to pretend to be children. I think that's what we get wrong sometimes as well.
Yeah.
I think spirit can manipulate as we can manipulate.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's telltale signs. I think if you look hard enough, there is definitely telltale signs. I think it's. I won't say it's quite obvious to spot, but once you actually strip it back, it sticks out like a sore thumb. But it's that instant, isn't it? It's that instant who you think you're dealing with.
Yes.
Then you think, hang on a minute, that's a load of old cock.
Yeah.
So,
don't get me wrong. I've worked with children in spirit. Yes, I have, and yes, I know the difference when it isn't a child, but it does take you working through barriers to get to know it's not a child, if that makes sense.
Sometimes it's the obvious as well, isn't it? Sometimes it is the obvious because let's take Cash's Well, for instance, where where we do a little investigation where we interact with children, and for many events, we've done, we're in excess of probably over 20 events or 50 times plus, probably visiting the location. So, and for a few times that there was this one child that wouldn't interact with the group. It stayed outside the circle and it stayed in the bushes, and we couldn't get it to come forward. Well, after a little bit of working out, after a couple of times being there and a couple of instances, we then began to realize that was a troublesome energy. Then if we did do that, it would cause more aggravation than probably what was needed. So yeah, it is good. I've just got to stop everything just for a minute. Dead Friend Redemption, guys. I did a podcast for this lovely man on when was it? I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of the nights I did. It's a pre-recorded. It's coming out on Wednesday, I believe. So please give this gentleman a follow. If you're into gaming, this is the gentleman to follow. He has helped me get some TikTok viewers as well. So thank you ever so much. And as soon as this podcast goes live, we will drop the links for you guys to listen. But I know he wants to speak to more of the team. He wants to speak to you, especially Simon. So
I got to help
him. But no. Thank you ever so much.
Actually, just going back on that children bit. That takes us back to Coalhouse, and I'm not going to mention names, but the woman who took something out of Coalhouse, thinking it was a child, and it gave her the worst, probably 6 months of her life.
I can't remember if it was actually a child that she took, though. Was it?
No, it wasn't a child, but it betrayed. She was asking. We always say, don't we? Don't ask anything to come home. Well, she thought it was a child that was leaving, wanted to leave with her. It portrayed itself as a child. She took it by the hand and took it out of Coalhouse Fault. Yeah, and it was obviously wasn't a child.
Oh, it was a. Then we say that let's play a bit of. I play devil's advocate, okay? Because remember the old team member. I won't mention his name, but he took hundreds of child home, and that caused him grief.
Yes, it did.
So it could be. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's a weird one because you have to really. I think it's you with children and spirit. Children's spirit, you can't help to have a logic brain with it involved. You see a child, you see the puppy dog eyes, you think it's in distress, and then you're sold a river. You're sold it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel that you have to do something about it. So you have to have a bit of an evil heart. You do have to have a bit of an evil heart and say, before you even contemplate helping this energy, figure it out. So if if you are on an event and you feel like you've got a child, don't take it home.
Yeah.
Speak to one of us or speak to your team leader. If you're not with us, please speak to someone else that you're going with. Don't take it home because, as Simon says, yes, it may be a child and you may give it a loving home and you may have no issues whatsoever. But there's also on the other side of it, it could give you hell on earth.
It could do. Yeah, it could do.
So yeah, I loads of hold on a minute. We're on questions here. So so I've got to go back. Hold on. So Sandra, I haven't forgot about your. I need to pin Sandra's question, so I know that I need to go back to that. So wonder if that's that one. Isn't that probably Hollywood again? Yes,
Yeah.
I think it doesn't play a massive role within haunted dolls, because obviously the most famous doll, Annabelle.
It was before that. What was the Sailor doll?
I think this come after, though, didn't it?
I don't know what was first. Was it Annabelle or the Sailor?
Yeah, because Annabelle made.
The Sailor was years back.
No, I think it did come. Haunted dolls. We all know Annabelle's going to come up. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh my God! There's an actual whole museum in Chicago.
Is there? Kim gets it.
Sailor. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The story behind. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
1994.
Oh, so the Sailor was
well after.
Yeah.
It's the one that's supposed to be nice to it, ain't you?
Yeah, you got to be nice to it. Yeah.
You can't call it, an arsehole or anything like that, and it's supposed to come and haunt you and things like that. Yeah, we've seen that one because that was on. We watched that, didn't we? We watched that somewhere though, didn't we?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was.
I think we was in Fodden Mill, in Norfolk, Kings Lynn.
Yeah, it could have been.
We was all together because Jay was saying, me and Jay would say there is no way we would be nice to it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think we was in Kings Lynn at that point. Yes, do I think Hollywood has? Yes, I think evil sells. Let's be fair, guys. Evil sells.
Yeah, of course.
Nicey Nice doesn't. Nicey Nice doesn't. So yeah, definitely Hollywood effect on that one. I think. All good.
I do think, though, in saying that, dolls hold a presence.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I do have a theory on that as well.
Go on.
I do have a theory on that. I think they hold a presence for the sheer fact is that they're human-like. And I say that for, let me put it in sort of a terminology that I understand it. It might not make any sense to you or you listening, but take a doll. It's got a face, it's got eyes, it's got ears, it's got everything that is. It's looking, it's watching, it's taking on that energy. But if I was to give you this bolt, for example, it's got no eyes, it's got no ears, it's got no nothing. It doesn't resemble anything to do with a human. It wouldn't feel like it's watching me. It doesn't feel like it's watching me. But a doll has that. If for example, if you had a doll in your front room and you murdered someone in your front room, that doll has witnessed that murder. okay, it can't verbalize and it can't, it hasn't brain to focus, but it still has a vision of eyes to. So maybe the person that got murdered is drawn to that because it can see. I don't know, but that's my theory on that.
Yeah, it could be.
It's got a presence of a human like.
Yeah, it has.
And you think how many dolls that have probably been over time that that children have had in hand, the energy transfer and the energy put into it. The only thing that I can't associate, and the more I think about it, and it's just come into my head, that the positive energy that is put into dolls when they are kids around these dolls and that they're laughing, they're joking, and 9 times out of 10, it's evil around the doll. It hasn't got a nice presence all the time. Let's say if you put it into a percentage, it's probably 75% nasty. Maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
I've got to go down the comments, guys, because a lot of people are getting. Kev has put, I mean, the dolls are generally associated with children, and some dark spirit focuses on innocence.
Yeah.
I've experienced that as a child, but I learned to tell dark energy to F off. And but then, and again, I suppose it could be. There's a positive energy around children, but dolls attract dark.
But am I not mistaken? Is there not a whole island of dolls somewhere?
Yeah, dolls' heads
and dolls.
Things like, dolls' heads.
No, and dolls.
Yeah, but majority of them are heads.
Yeah,
Doll Island.
Yeah.
There is. Oh yeah, I'd go. Nothing, dolls do not creep. They creep me out the way they look because they look at you. But would I fear anything to tell it to do one? Absolutely not.
No, but put all that energy together. If there is energy attached to a doll, it could be pretty. Don't know. Don't know.
I do believe, as I have seen many that are demonic energies live to appear as a child. Yeah. Once again, it goes down that route of you see it, you feel it. I'm probably just backtracking on the comments now. CC have to be careful. They're actually children, often tricksters. What we were saying.
Yeah.
I think Zach Bagans owns some of the dolls.
He does. Yeah.
Well, we actually had Tony Superior on the phone, on the show. The owner of Annabelle Doll. He spoke to us about the doll. He spoke to us about the Warrens, and all things like that. Very, very nice guy. And I do remember watching the episode on when Zach Bagans did the Annabelle. Pardon, mate?
He touched the doll, didn't he?
Yes, but he was told not to touch the doll. And Tony got very umpy about that. Yeah. Because, and he said if you touch the doll, you get bad vibes and everything like that. But I think Tony was, not to say he's possessed by the doll, because and that's not what I'm saying. He's protected of that doll.
Yeah, which he probably would be
and controlled by that doll. So it's almost telling you the doll is telling I don't want to be touched. So Tony's giving that. Our friend, thank you. Good. You see, he always confuses me. Christian, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. What's that say? It's the J bolt.
Is that Jay's bolt? Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Jay's bolt. My desk is just full of Jay's objects, so don't worry about it. I saw shadow people, which I thought was only me, but I met people since they've told me that they saw them too. Yeah. I say there's a lot to do with how the dolls How have we got on dolls from talking about events?
I don't know.
I don't. Oh yeah, because you took Dole to Slough. That's
Yeah.
how it worked. Right, got you.
Jay's fault again.
Yeah. So we're all right with that. But no, I can. Yes, I do think that dolls can hold a presence.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're locked to that presence.
No, I think they if they want to go somewhere else, they will.
Yeah, that would be my sort of. But guys, if you, sorry, Simon.
Unless because you can attach an energy to an object.
Yes, yeah, it can be done.
Attached to that, if somebody's attached it to that particular doll, then perhaps it can. I don't know. I see it that way.
Yes, I do, but I say I'm talking on my how my brain. When I do a clearance and I have to attach something, I can only find a way of attaching it for a point. I can't full-time attach it. It just doesn't work. I can't make that happen. I can only do it for maximum of about an hour, and then that energy's gone from there. It's enough to get anything away. That's why I always do it at the last point of call. So I've got enough time to get out of the place and down the road, and then to deal with anything that I need to deal with. But yeah, definitely it's something with dolls. What and how, I don't know. But if you do want to get in contact with us, guys, if you are listening over on Pulse Talk Radio, you can join us over on Facebook and YouTube, Essex Ghost Hunters, for both of those social media links. If you're new to the show, welcome along. If you want to send in a text message, if you want to send in an email, you can send it to info@essexghosthunters.co.uk. If you're brave enough, you'll hear it go ping on the screen. And if you're really brave, you can give us a call or a text message on 07 487 331688, 07 487 331688. If you want to contact us with anything that we're saying, if you agree or if you disagree, please let us know. Where was I doing? What about those full life dolls in Alibaba?
I think you can attach a lot to them, Christian, but not.
Let's just in Cornwall, I walked past a garden and they had a doll's head with no eyes stuck on a pole. We walked past it very quickly after that.
Yeah,
so it gives you a strange feeling then.
Yeah.
So you all heard the ping there. So we all know that an email has come through. I'm not going to read it because I know where it's come from. I saw the name. So thank you, Ryan. So yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that let's be fair. Let's be fair. If you saw a doll with no eyes on a stick, it does give you the heebie-jeebies. You think how much Porky, our doll, the EMF doll, caused people to freak out, and there was nothing intentionally bad about Porky. No, it wasn't a negative energy; it's a positive energy. It's an EMF reading, but it freaked people out.
Yeah,
and there was no need to freak out because it wasn't set for bad intentions.
No.
It was designed to help spirit children, interact with us. So we set it for, but it really freaked out people. It freaked out people, which was very, very odd. Zach Bagans and Hand went to the Dolls Island. I think it's in somewhere like Puerto Rico or somewhere like that, isn't it?
I'd like to go. I would like to go.
Natalie has just joined us. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late in joining. If you don't know who Natalie is, guys, a quick plug for Natalie. If you've got any bug interests, any of the bugs, spiders, anything like that, please give the Bug Hut a massive follow on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Bug Hut, and they've got a beautiful little shop over in Bicknaker, opposite us at White Elm Garden Centre in CM3 4LR for all your bug and reptile goodies. Okay, so make sure you pop over there, guys. All right.
The Island of the Dolls. It's in Mexico, Mexico City, and they are they're hung up. They're hung. Oh, yeah, heads. There's old dolls.
Yeah.
I would like to go. I'd like. To
Oh
go.
yeah. I'd love to. I'd love to visit the place. I would definitely love to visit the place. As Stu said, yes, it does. It's I think what you said. It's like human-like. It's watching you. So Porky is technically the card. The child catcher. I think I've actually got Porky behind me. Hold on a minute. Bear with me. Keep everyone talking, Simon.
That's I'm what I've just put on the other computer. Island of the Dolls, and it keeps flicking photos up. And I'll tell you what, there's some really strange ones. Wish you could see it, Russ. There's hanging ones. Who would hang a doll up like that? Don't know. I really that's a bit freaky, actually. I wonder if you can stay there.
Right.
Stay there.
I
said, I wonder if you can stay there.
I would stay there. That wouldn't bother me.
I don't know if you're allowed to stay there.
Yeah, they wouldn't, because it makes it more fun, doesn't it? Right. So here's Porky. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with Porky? Does Porky work still? Yeah.
Porky does work.
As soon as what does Porky work? It's got an EMF in it.
Yeah.
So as soon as Porky, is it actually on? Yeah, Porky's on.
But the eyes, I think it was the eyes going red that actually people didn't like. I don't think it was the concept of Porky.
Yeah. To be fair, it's weird, but my phone isn't necessarily affecting it. Oh, it was then, wasn't it? Did it flash?
I don't know if it flashed to red. You can see the middle button.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Look, that's what Porky does.
And that's what freaks people out. So for all the radio listeners...
Yeah, but you imagine that being pitch black and you've got that sitting there doing that.
But it's not intended to be freaky, though, is it? But the way that...
made it right.
Yeah, you made it. That doesn't necessarily... It's got a smiley face, but as soon as his eyes glow red, it freaks people out.
Yeah.
Now, that I should think goes along with the line of what I was saying, is it because it's got human-like features? Does a K2 freak you out when it goes off? It don't freak anybody out.
No.
And that goes red.
No, that's true.
It's because the red eyes we're associating demonic. That's all we're, the omened. You naturally go to sort of...
When that moved at Chatham Fault, that freaked people out. It moved. And it did move.
Natalie said, we have haunted dolls here. Some attract feathers and bugs and move things around. I've seen shadows. And if they move before two, I don't find them scary at all, but I can see why people don't like them. Like it's like a distorted human.
Clowns. Yeah. I get that. I do get that.
Yeah, and that's right. Is it because haunted dolls have a resemblance to a human?
Yes, probably is. Yeah, you did make it with.
Yeah,
Alfie, right?
Alfie.
100%.
Let's be fair, right? What is, if anyone is going to be? I'll give you two things. Okay. There's a haunted doll, and that would freak people out.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. There's a haunted bolt, that would freak no fucker out. That would freak no one out.
You gotta get back into this. That's one.
Sorry for my swearing, I do apologize. But that would freak no one out. What freaks you out the most? Doll, the bolt?
Depends, because if the bolt was held at you,
Yeah, but still, I think you could have that hurled at you and you'd pick it up. But if the doll was hurled at you, I think you'd run. You know, that's how I see it. I think it is that human element of no, that's not your bolt. That's from HMS Warrior. That one. Where am I? Question. I don't find dolls scary, but I appreciate they can be. For me, certain images very unsettling. Jesus on the cross really scares me as a child. I hope it doesn't mean I'm a demon. Well, you never know. Never know, Kev. You're far from a demon. Yeah, but no, I get where people come from. I do. But I think logic I do feel logic brain kicks in with a haunted doll. I really do. Right, we let's move on. Let's move on away from the haunted dolls. We've said that.
We weren't there, but Hitchin was the next one.
Yeah.
And that's really recent. And it was bloody hot.
It was the worst. I don't think I have ever experienced a ghost hunt in that heat before in my life.
No, it was so hot.
I've never, if you told me, I would say that the headmaster's house was in excess of 40 degrees. Easy.
We couldn't stay in the headmaster's house. We couldn't.
Well, we sat on the floor and it was a little bit cooler than standing up. But we had quite a lot go on. We had quite a lot go.
We did, yes. Yeah, we did.
We did have quite a lot going on. I think the last one for the Hitchin British Schools Museum. It was an old school. It was set in a couple of parts. You had the top school, the big open. Pardon, sorry?
Amazing place.
Yeah. You had the big open top where the big hall was and a couple of classrooms off that. Then you had the little basement area with a little bit of a classroom above it, which was sort of like more of what I would call an American style sort of college, where you sat at the bottom and the chairs went up. It was very different.
That's what they said, though. That's at that school. It was the first one that taught in that way.
Yeah. And then you had the headmaster's house.
Yeah. As I say, I would have loved to have done more in the headmaster's house, but it was so hot. I think we'd have passed out in there.
Well, we managed to do it. We managed to stay in there for the whole hour, and we had some absolutely fantastic stuff go off. We had the piano play in the corner, and it was off. I think we've even caught it on camera. You can hear the ding ding on it. We had the K2 meters just responding excellently to it. It was absolutely fantastic. There was me and, forgive me, it's Lisa's son that was with us. I can't think of his name. And we was in a separate room. And it was just, we asked a question, went off. It repeated it straight away. Go to red, bang. Go to red, bang. Cece said, I was way too hot in the headmaster's house, but the tapping was weird upstairs and the table tipping was incredible. Still blows my mind to it. Lisa Jr. No, it wasn't Lisa Jr. But we went upstairs and we all sat down on the floor, and the tapping, like and you'd ask it a question and it was like, can you do 2 taps for 1? Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And you felt it literally on the floor tapping you because we all sat down. I think torches were going off. We had the REM pod going off in the
Oh,
house.
Torches in the first classroom was unbelievable. It was actually answering us on the torch, answering questions on the torch. Unbelievable. So yeah,
Yes, the headmaster's house was amazing. We didn't have too much within the basement area. We had little bits. We had the Necrophonics app talking to us and swearing at us. And then we had a guest got taken over in the top bit of the not the headmaster's house, the classroom, with a naughty child. I'd say naughty child. I don't quite know what the story was, but the energy of the boy was very local to the area, and didn't like being questioned and could be very disruptive, very, very disruptive. So that was quite good. But I would say that the most amazing ending to the night for my group, and the bell. Oh, I'll go on to that. I will go into that because I was just getting to that bit. Cece, who? Huh? Is it Tina? Right, with you. Okay, thank you. I was blown. So now I know then. So thank you. I am now in who is watching me, so I can get it backed up to where we're going. But we had the most amazing end to the night, and I would say it was probably the most in 25 years of doing this, was the most unbelievable interaction with spirit that we've had. I was a little bit late because I was doing a bit of filming. So Lisa took a board group, and me and Tina, Jackie, and Jackie's was it daughter?
Yeah, I think so.
If Jackie and but Jackie's two other guests. Let's just say Jackie's two other guests, and we did table tipping. Yeah, we did table tipping, and we put our hands on, and all of a sudden the table just gently took us up towards the door, and the door opened. Everyone heard the door open. We expected someone to walk in. No one walked in, but then about a couple of seconds, maybe 20 seconds at maximum, the bell rang. A bell rang. And it was like, what was that? And then it wasn't to the end of the group that we realized that the bell, when I turned the lights on, the bell was on top of the, what do you call it? The thing where they all stand and talk, the podium bit. What do they call them then? Rostrum?
Yeah, rostrum.
Whatever it was, it was on top of there. And it had to be lifted to ring. You couldn't have rung it without it, but because it was dark, you didn't see it till I turned the lights on. But it was the door made the clunk, and we thought it was going to be someone walking in. Everyone stopped.
Weird.
It was very weird, but it was the table tipping was just. I don't feel I've felt emotion. Now, I can safely say that the not the worst time, but the best but worst time that I ever felt was at the bunker with the cadet that we had to.
Yes.
That was emotional, but this one was just.
Yeah.
We only had, obviously, didn't we? We had lectern. That's the word, lectern. By the door, lectern by the door. But this was just the most. You felt it. Everyone around the table felt it. Everyone, and it was linked. I think I'll go through it with you guys because this table took us up and it moved us gently. It was so gentle. You could feel it so gentle. It moved us all the way up the room. So it moved us 30 foot. How long was that? 30 foot length? That big hall?
Yeah. Probably about 30 foot. Yeah,
So
35.
it moved us 30 foot, and then it moved us into the little classroom at the back.
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
And it stopped right by the door. So we all sat down, and the table, we would say, would you speak to us? Yes. And it moved so gently to yes. And then it was put back down to yes. Ross or Russ, who we got his name. I remember his name because there's a confusion who it is, Ross or Russ. He needed to get out, and the table moved to let him out. And then when he wanted to come back in again, the table moved to let him back in again, as if it was being welcomed. And she was murdered by a teacher there because of was she murdered? Or was the baby's life was taken.
Yeah, be careful.
The baby's life was
Be
taken.
careful what you say, because just be careful what you say.
Yeah, but I say it's all on video. And I'm going to release the video at some point. But the story goes, it was I think Jackie even picked up on a name that was used prior to that. Was it William?
Yeah,
Bill? Well, it's a story. How can you not tell the story?
Go for it.
But I generally don't know.
Yeah.
I won't mention no names then. I'll mention the name.
But I got the same story, not even in the same group as you were, yeah? Okay?
Right.
It's the same story. So I went to the curator.
Right.
And got really told that, of course not. He wouldn't have done that. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So,
as much as they want to argue with, I'm not going to argue with Spirit. Okay, I get what they're saying.
I totally agree. I totally agree. But
you know,
he was the man that built it, wasn't he?
I don't know, because we never got that. But let's just say that he was not very remorseful. He didn't care what he did.
He did it. His words were, it was means to an end. It needed to be done. And we got that in a different group. So obviously what you got it, because I didn't know. I haven't spoken to you about what you got.
Yeah.
But we got exactly the same, which is good.
Yeah. And it was a baby out of wedlock or young, whatever it was. The daughter had the baby young or out of wedlock. I couldn't remember what it was. But you could feel the pain. I've never been in that. And all of a sudden the father come through, and you could tell the difference in the energy because the table was crashing about. Bang, bang. And all of a sudden the girl come back, and it was gentle. Donk. Donk. Beautiful. An absolute wonderful experience. And, you know, there was no remorse. It was no, and it's all we had to do all it felt was the girl wanted to tell her story, and the girl wanted to, you know, be happy. And that's what it was. That's what we did. And that's, you know,
something that we should probably, I know we're always saying we should do it, but we should probably all get together as a group and see what we got at the end of it. Because I think there was two stories that come through very similar or near on the same that we didn't know till tonight. I didn't know you got the same as what I got. That's what we got in our first group.
It was just beautiful. It was such a beauty. I say it was just beautiful. The energy that this young lady had. What was her name? Cece, what was her name? Can you remember her name? Was it Rebecca? Charlotte? Something like that?
Yeah. Charlotte.
But hopefully Cece will know.
CC.
Well,
you wait to the next event, CC.
but it was just something that I'd never witnessed before. And you know, we've done a lot of table tipping. We've been to Shepton Mallet did table tipping, Shrewsbury did table tipping,
Yeah.
and my God, it's just a total different feel. The table crashes about, but it was just as if if that young girl who was talking to us, that table was her baby. There was no anger. There was no violence in the way. It was the way the table moved when Ross wanted to get in and went back down when he sat down. She moved the table to give him room to get in. It was just amazing, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I think we had Rebecca as well. So the names there. Weird. That is really weird.
So it was just amazing. And I'd never had anything like it, to be fair. It was just beautiful.
Right. Sorry, I just want to go back to Rye. If we need another Porky. May not be another Porky, but we would like, if you're up for building something for us, yeah. I think we can go along with what we would like.
Build whatever you want.
Yeah.
As long
I seriously would like. I'll talk to you about it.
Right, Flugel had put Andy had a bit of an episode in the small classroom off the side of the large hall. Apparently, he was a teacher assistant who didn't like Kelly or Jess standing in the teacher's position.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we had that, and we had that in our group. They didn't want anybody to be standing in the teacher's position.
But that would have been like that, though, wouldn't it? Back in them days, that would have been.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't have messed about in those days.
No. You standing in where the authority would have been absolutely.
Yeah. You'd have been disciplined for it.
Massive,
severely.
Yeah, I just remember Tina sorting out Andy when we got back. I didn't really understand what was going on. So yeah, I knew something had gone on, but I don't quite know what had gone on. Claire had a naughty boy visit us and took a dislike to another kid, Walter. That was it. Yes, I remember that. Walter was a goody two shoes, and that was Steph. Steph Colson had Walter. He was a goody two shoes, and all he kept saying was "Shut up, shut up, shut up." And Steph went back. "Is all I want to do is learn. Please behave." It was quite funny. I remember that. It was quite funny. So yeah, it was for me. Yeah, I'd say it was I think it's because I probably missed Slough Fault. It was a long time from one event to the other, and it was a very, very good for me. It was a very, very good night. It was well.
Yeah.
I
think as you're going on and on, you expect so much out of events. You do expect a lot, and when you've got to look back, see what you actually got.
Yeah, not everything can be.
No,
not everything can be.
I think it's like when we were talking about Shrewsbury earlier. Shrewsbury Prison. If you just actually probably go back to Shrewsbury Prison, what we got in Shrewsbury Prison was probably quite a lot of evidence.
What was the one with the squeaky door? The big wooden door. That was Shrewsbury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shrewsbury was the one with the bloke kept walking around at night time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember bits of it. I don't remember all of it. I do remember bits of it.
I remember something being thrown that come past me and Lauren and nearly hit you, I'm sure.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was footsteps.
Yes.
There was a lot of footsteps. Paul heard footsteps as well.
Yeah. I say you're very right. Very true, Simon. Set expectations for yeah, it can do.
Yeah. And you can't always. It does happen, but you expect it to be something as big as the last one. If you get a load going off, you expect the next one to be the same, and it's not, and it's done in subtle and different ways. There's still a lot of activity, but you don't always see it.
Yeah, definitely. Good question, Flugel. Have you got locations and events lined up for 2000? Yes, we have got them lined up. Yes. We are just waiting to confirm one that hopefully we will confirm on Monday. Yeah. And then in a couple of weeks' time, probably I would say 2 weeks' time, we will release the dates. Yeah. We will release them. We'll have a special show dedicated to events, and then we will go.
Lined up.
Yeah. We have different locations. We've got three locations that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 locations that we haven't done before. One is quite famous. One I've never heard of.
No.
And the other one I've never heard of, but it has come from a team member that has suggested it for us. So we are going to go with it.
Where I'm going.
But we've got a bit of travelling. Yeah,
so, a little bit. Not too far.
Yeah, not too far. Yeah, but we are trying to. We've just got 2 more holes to fill, and then we will be good. All right. So yeah, I would be saying
Monday, but I am looking at something Monday. But I'm not yet.
Yeah, Kim and Simon are on the trip on Monday to look at this venue, and that will be a 4th location that the team has never done before. So where we go, no one knows. Yeah, there will be 2 weekends, Jane, where that you'll be in the shop because we are traveling. But it is split. It's one at the beginning and one at the end. So we are all good. But no, we will definitely be hints. No. I'll give you a hint. I don't think Phil is too far from one of the locations. I don't think he is. I
can't even remember this location.
Well, I'm not telling you live on air.
No, I know.
So, but I don't think Phil is too far off of this one. It'll be a couple of weeks' time. Probably not next week, but probably the following week. All right. It'll probably be the night before Landguard. Is that about right? So it should be, when's Landguard? The 7th?
Yeah.
So the 6th. Maybe the show for the 6th. All right, guy. We have tried, Phil. I would recommend send that email at touch you all customers as previous year to get people interested. Yep, we will try. Okay, but that is well over my head.
All right.
So
I could probably do the newsletter, but that'll be a different thing.
But no, it'll be on this show. We'll release it all on the show. We'll get everything in. We've got to inform the team first as well of all these locations and dates. But no, the calendar is looking. I think we've got 2 spots to fill, and I think, well, one of them will be what's happening on Monday, if it's all good and if it works. We're going back to an old haunt as well in London, which would be good. So that's a little hint for you. One's in London town. Well, just outside London town.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah, I got that one.
So it's another hint. All right. But no, a couple of weeks' time. All right. Really looking forward to Landguard. I do remember Landguard last time, and it's nice. Yeah. We'll look into it, Flugel. I'll have a look into it. All right. The gentleman that would be able to do it is in the chat. So the only one that would be able to do it. The hint is that you'll be doing it. But no, it's gonna be a good one. It is going to be a good one because, you know, we can go back to. We're going to go. Obviously, we'll be going back to some old places that we go to because that people want to do it. But next year, with 4 locations, potentially 4 locations that the team has never done before as a team. They might have been there individually, but I can safely say that the 4 in question, I have never been to any of them. Not in a day visit, not in a nighttime visit, not in an investigation. 2 of them I've never heard of, so that should be interesting. But yeah, no, all good. Thanks for the work, Flu. Not a problem. So, guys, we're into the last 20 minutes of the show. So, as we know, it is open mic time. So, if you've got any questions that you want to throw at us, it is now time to throw at us. If you've got any locations that you would like us to do as well, you can now put them in the chat, and hopefully one of our lovely ladies will look into it. So, last 20 minutes, question and answer time, guys. Come on, throw us some questions. So if you sort of want, I think we are fully sold out for this year anyway, aren't we, on events? Yeah. There is no more space for events. We are all sold out. I think we've sold out every event this year, didn't we? I think we've done pretty well. Yeah. Probably a couple of tickets here and there, but if you would do, you can join us on www.essexghosthunters.co.uk for all future events and everything like that. You can follow us on all social medias, Instagram and things like that. And I want everybody to follow us on TikTok. Okay, I need to get to 750 followers on TikTok. So please go to EGH Paranormal, Essex Ghost Hunters, EGH Paranormal on TikTok. Give us a follow. I'm begging you, please. We're so close. We're into about our 80s now. Could even be less. I'm hoping. But please, guys, give us a good. When are you announcing next year's date, Jackie? We are hoping for the 6th, I think it is. Is it the 6th?
It'll be Friday the 6th.
Friday the 6th. That's the work in progress time. All right?
Yeah. But if anywhere you've got Jackie up your way, not averse to it, honestly.
Silent Paul Guildford? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Silent Paul Guildford.
We can have a look.
Yeah.
Sandra, can you have a look at Silent Paul Guildford, please?
He thinks. But come on, guys. Any questions that you want to ask us? Any questions? I know that Maz and Jay said about the old. There was a jail there or something, wasn't there? Was it West Brom jail? But I think that's gone. Is that where they make gin? Isn't it?
Oh, what?
I don't know. We'll never clue. So, any questions, guys? Please fill them over. I don't know what to talk about, to be fair. I'm lost. Where are we going? Langard. Can't remember too much about it. Very clean, Langard.
Very
Silent Paul.
right. Okay.
Gin. Oh, I better not tell Christina then. This is where it makes gin. Lucy's. I've been to Silent Paul, Guildford. Definitely something there.
Oh, right. Okay. Go on it, girls.
Dudley
Dudley.
Castle.
Dudley. We've been to Dudley.
Have we been to Dudley?
Yeah.
Oh, many years ago.
Spencer used to go. Spencer.
Yeah, Dudley. Yeah, Dudley. So if there is no questions, guys, we're having an early night by the look of it. But any questions? Any last questions? There must be something out there, guys. Come on. Throw us a question, or it's the end of the show. And we go again next week.
Dudley Castle. We must have seen Dudley Castle.
No, I think it was a little bit Leamington's before Dudley, isn't it?
No,
I don't think it's
Cadbury's World. Is that there?
I don't know that.
Cadbury's World's in Dudley. I'm sure it. Is that where it is, Jackie? Dudley.
Your guess is as good as mine on this one.
No, I stayed at Dudley.
No, can't help you on that one, mate. I really can't. I did a ghost hunt there, Dudley Castle.
Was it good?
Near here. Right, guys, we are going to end the show then because we've got nothing to talk about. We've done the end of the show. Unless you get a question in quick.
Cadbury's World, it's near, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for everybody.
Hold on.
Oh, one question. One question is when you are open on Saturdays, as I have booked.
I have that book called Hamlet of Witchcraft I found in the skip, and I want to bring it in. We're open. Yeah, me and Russ are there this Saturday.
I'm not there next Saturday.
We're there the following Saturday.
I'm not there the 30th.
No, you're not there the 30th.
Yeah, I'm there the following one. Yeah.
Because we've only got half day booking. So
yeah.
So we're in most Saturdays, Stuart. Yeah, apart from the 30th. Well, I mean, but
yeah, bring it in. Just let us know.
Yeah,
let us know.
If I find it a little bit dodgy, it can stay over the other shop, Stuart, until he gets there.
Well, for Stuart to be bringing it in, he must feel like there's something there.
Yeah. What's the matter with the book?
Yeah, there must be something about the book. There must be something about the book.
Yeah.
For Stuart to be bringing the book in, and Stuart can cut it right down the middle when he's investigating. So he must feel something about the book that he wants us to have a look at it. So right, guys, thank you ever so much for listening tonight. It's been a great show. It's been I didn't expect to go down the Haunted Dolls route, but we did. So it was lovely Jay's fault. Always Jay's fault. So thank you ever so much for everyone that's joined us. We will be back next week. So yeah, round about the time. If you want any questions that we want to ask, send them through. Take care, everybody. And that's everybody. See you later. Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for everybody that has joined us on Facebook tonight and YouTube. It's been great. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
See you next week.